Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to A Young Fire. My name is Tumi WMJ and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I'm sure you guys are wondering why I'm so suited up, why I'm looking so nice, but you're about to find out. A Young Fire is a channel for young people like you and myself who are on fire for God, passionate about purpose, and of course enthusiastic about life. If you believe you're one of those people, do ensure that you hit the subscribe button and of course the notification bell. If you're already part of the Fire Fam, thank you for the support that you've been showing us over the past couple of weeks when we've been posting the videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the love, thank you for the feedback, and thank you for just giving the videos a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let me get into the video and tell you why I'm so dressed up today. To start a series that we're going to have on careers on the channel. Careers are very important. We spend a chunk of our lives investing time, money, and all of these things into our careers. Specifically today, I'm talking about a group of young people like myself who work 9 to 5s and say, "Good morning, ma'am, how are you?" You know that genge, Eshapang, kind regards. Babo, thanks. Kindly refer to the email below. We're talking about that gang today, those guys who believe that they are the coolest of the coolest, you know, today. And that's why I'm dressed like this today, because corporate South Africa just believes they are the business. And I really hope that it's a series that's going to benefit you. It's something that you're going to derive value from, and something that's just going to change your life. How you look at your career, how you can grow it, how you can elevate it, how you can combat the challenges that we face in our careers each and every single day. Just to give you a little bit of background and to make these points a little bit more relatable, I thought I should just give you a little bit of insight into my journey and the things that I've done, so that you can understand the kind of spaces and the settings that I've been in, for me to derive these kind of points, so that it's a bit more contextual and that you can understand it a little bit better. I started my corporate journey just a little bit about 6 years ago, and it's been a challenging one with a little bit ups and downs here and there. Challenges, of course, like in any other space. I believe that the challenges that you face in life, you will always be able to overcome based on how you respond to it. So I started my career in product development. We were building software, and I was working in an organization where it was a very small, close-knit, where there was about 60 to 100 people who were working there. We all knew each other's names. We understood where each person fit in the ecosystem of the organization, so it was a bit easier for us to understand the dynamics that were inherent in the organization, and of course with the team that was working there. So it was a good foundation for me, because it opened me up to a lot of people skills and that I got to learn in that space. I then moved into product management and marketing, which changed the environment altogether, because now I was working with third-party organizations that were working with our organization, and it became even harder, because you are working with people that you don't get to see every day. You need to understand what your main reason of being in this organization is to provide value for the organization, to grow yourself as an individual, and of course to make money. One of the most important things and ultimate things is for you to have a vision. Have a vision for your career. Understand exactly who you are, where you are going, and what is your value. What is your value proposition? When you come into an interview, know what you're putting on the table, know who you are, know the skills that you possess, know what your developmental areas are, because of the vision. So all of these things stem from your vision. So when you have a vision when you have a vision about your life, when you have a vision about your career, it becomes easy for these other things to fall into place, because when you know where you're going, you know where you currently are, you know what your developmental areas are. It's easy to define them, it's easy to spot them, it's easy to put your value proposition on the table, because you've kind of, you know, gotten to know yourself, you've kind of invested some time in yourself throughout your studies and throughout you gaining some of the skills that you already have. Even as a graduate, you know, when you come through as a graduate, know the skills that you possess, know if you're a good problem solver, know if you're a good critical thinker. You need to know these things. You need to be able to put them on the table and vocalize them and say, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and this is what I can do for the company, so that you can ensure that even as you walk into the company, you know exactly what you're bringing to the table. Because a lot of times I find that people go for interviews for jobs that they shouldn't even be working in, but they're taking it because of their current situation and just them looking for a job. So when you are looking for a job, and this we will tackle in the other videos that we get, when you are looking for a job, you need to be very specific in what you're looking for. You need to be very specific in what I call finicky. You just need to know, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a job in this space, in an organization like this, with an environment like this. So you'll need to do a little bit of research so that you understand exactly what you're going to do, what you are bringing to the table, so you don't bring something that is going to be a misfit for the organization that you want to work for. Always ensure that you do what you're hired to do. Guys, I find a lot of young people like me and you who go into jobs and don't do what they were hired to do. So it's either you are working and you're working really hard, you're pushing, you're like, yo, you are working, you are there, but you're not doing what you were meant to do. You were hired here as a business analyst and you are doing something else. Like, why? I never get it. Why are you investing your time in something that you're not supposed to be doing? You know, things like job specs, things like performance agreements are very, very important for you to read and go through. A lot of times we find ourselves not reading our employment contracts, not reading our job specs, not even paying attention to our performance documents, which is a bad thing to do, guys. It is you are disadvantaging yourself by not doing this. Ensure that you take time out to read your performance contracts, to read your job spec, to read your employment contract, so that you understand the things that are in there, so that you understand what you need to focus your time on. It is so important. I can't stress it enough. Treat your employer with respect. Yes, you are deserving of the job. Yes, you are best qualified. Yes, you are the best. Yes, you are cum laude. Yes, Kuri, you are the best in the business. Wonderful. The only thing that you must always remember is that they could have chosen somebody else to do the job that you're doing. So treat your employer with respect. Treat your organization with respect. Treat your job, treat yourself with respect. Understand that anybody else could be doing the exact same job that you were doing, but you were given that opportunity because the employer or whoever did your interview that day thought that you would be the best candidate to fill that position. They gave you an opportunity. At the end of the day, it is an opportunity given to you. So don't do this thing. Try and get out of this mentality of thinking that, oh no, but I'm so good at my job. Oh no, but like guys, oh no, but I'm the best. Oh, in fact, I'm the best analyst they've ever seen. They are, you might be. Like, you honestly might be the best analyst that they ever seen, but without them, there's no you analyzing. Like, try and get it. Try and understand it like that, because the moment you do that, you will start seeing how even the employer respects you back. You know, respect is a mutual thing and is a thing that is earned. And a lot of young people are struggling to understand that you can't be respected for something that you are not doing. You can't be respected for someone who you are not. So when you become somebody, when you work hard at being something or being someone, then you get the respect that comes with that effort. You get the respect that comes with that work, and you get the respect that comes with that etiquette. So it's very important. Respect the organization that you work for, respect their vision, respect their mission, respect the purpose why you are there, and you will see how that makes a difference. It will change the relationship you have with your employer. Even when you guys have disagreements, even when you guys have difference in opinions, you will see how that immediately changes, because there's respect, there's an element of respect and understanding between you and your employer. Be ambitious as a young person. You know, be that person who is always looking for opportunities, who's optimistic about their future, who's optimistic about their contribution to the organization. You know, be that person who is positive, who's easily inspired. You know, you walk into an organization, you walk into a meeting, you listen to people talk, you know, you are inspired by people who talk. You know, find a mentor, find somebody who you can speak to, who you can relate to. And this is one of the other videos that we're going to be talking about, you know, in this series of finding a mentor, looking for somebody that you can look up to, somebody somebody who can fan the fire and always remind you of your potentials and your capabilities. You know, I find that a lot of young people walk into corporate and are swallowed up into organizations. You know, they just mellow out their dreams, they mellow out their ambitions, and they're just pushing paper. You know, they come into the organization, they do what they're meant to do, sometimes even below their targets, and they leave. You know, a person is not motivated to do anything over and above, and feel like, you know what, they are in the cycle where they just keep going to work, coming back home, going to work, coming back home. You find such people living miserable lives because they are not doing one thing, which is to be ambitious. Another thing for you to do to succeed in the corporate space is for you to hang around the right people. This is very, very important, guys, because your company and the people that you keep around you ultimately define the kind of person that you are. I've always been the kind of person that if I walk into an organization and I find people complaining, I stay away from complainers, guys. I stay away from people who complain a lot. I stay away from people who are always negative and people who are always pulling things down. Hey, mamahu, yo, papahu, hey, papahu tlile, hey, mamahu utlile. Guys, that kind of attitude starts something in you, pricks something in you. You know, so it's very, very important to always find yourself around people who are positive and people who are like-minded, people who think the way you think. Even if it's just one person, find yourself around that person, gravitate and spend most of your time with that person, because that is the person who is going to help you move your career forward. You don't want to be sitting with people who are always thinking how to fight the system, who are always thinking how to break the rules, who are always thinking how to do something that is going to do anything else but move your career forward. So when we're talking challenges in corporate South Africa, we're talking about a couple of things that are stifling people's growth. We're talking about those things that are stressing young people. We're talking about things that are leaving young people depressed because they feel that they cannot change. The corporate space in South Africa is a cutthroat one because of a lot of things, because of the history that we have in this country, because of urbanization, because of globalization, and recently now digitization. We are seeing a lot of how these things are changing the landscape of the corporate space. We are seeing how this space is becoming very competitive and very cutthroat because of all of these things that are changing it and are pulling it to different directions, right? So what can a young person like you and me do to ensure that they stay focused and they succeed in their career? If you're a young person in South Africa who is destined for the corporate life or who is going into corporate, you will need to understand that in the corporate space there are restrictions. Guys, this is one of the most important things that you need to know. There are restrictions. That is just how it is. Because of progress and because of productivity, companies put policies in place, they put restrictions, and they put things that they believe are going to make their workforce work smarter and better so that they can become profitable. So you need to ensure that you understand and familiarize yourself with those restrictions when you walk into corporate, so that you don't find yourself on the wrong side of the law, especially at this young point in your career. Because when you are walking in there, you might not know what you are supposed to do. There are some things that you might know very surface level, and you will need to really research and read about those things so that you ensure that you are always on the right side of the law and you never find yourself having to fight cases because you are on the wrong side of the law. The main purpose of you being there is not to fight restrictions, is not to fight policies or any of the laws that the company might have set out. Is for you to come in there to do a specific job, flourish at it, and move. A lot of times we find ourselves fighting battles that we shouldn't have even engaged in the first place because we are on the wrong side of the law. I would really advise anybody who wants to venture into the corporate spaces that if you want to be a corporate, if you want to excel in your career, get to know what your restrictions are, get to know what the regulations that govern the specific organization that you are in, so that you can abide by them and ensure that you stay away from doing any kind of thing that is going to inhibit your progress and your moving forward. One of the other biggest challenges that I feel corporate South Africa places on young people is diversity. As much as we are all South Africans and we understand the diversity that comes with our country, it becomes a little bit difficult when it hits home and you have to spend like 8 hours with these people every single day. Like, I didn't know that I was the kind of person I was till I found myself with different races, different age groups, different genders in one room or in one setting for almost 8 hours, Monday to Friday, every single day, every single week, every single month. It was the most challenging thing ever, because you see the differences, you see the things that you are not accustomed to, that the other people don't have a problem with. You see things that you would have easily thought that no, but this is not a problem, and people find it very offensive, and you're just like, how, why is this even offensive to you? Like, I don't understand. So it's one of those challenges that I feel young people need to be more open. We need to be more open-minded when we are going into these settings, when we are going into corporate South Africa, when we're going into these environments, because if you are not open-minded and you're very rigid in your thinking and you're very stuck in your ways and very staying in your ways, you will find it challenging. You will find it very challenging to interact with people and to find a place, because the moment you start locking heads with a lot of people, the moment you start having arguments with a lot of people about things that are inherently them and their belief systems and who they are and their personalities and all of these things, you find yourself that it sways you away from the main purpose you are there. Always remember the main purpose you are here. Always remember the main reason why you came here. The moment you start finding yourself dealing with all of these little small things, you are wasting your time. So the challenges are there. They are inherent and they will always be there. So it's one of those things that we need to find our way around them, and with our different personalities, you find your way, you know, with our different personalities and different environments. The main thing for you in every challenge that you face in corporate South Africa, always remember to keep the main thing the main thing. The moment you do that, you will see how the perspective of your job changes, how the perspective of the organization you work for changes, or, you know, your working relationship with your colleagues and even with your superiors. You will just see how it changes because you keep the main thing the main thing. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that the nuggets shared in this video will provide value to you, will help you grow your career and ultimately succeed in corporate South Africa. Till the next time I see you, thank you so much for watching.